Rec, this team will definitely be sure to take the dub here.
Yeah, they got Nuss, John Waite, and Virus for the Sharks. On the other side, Myro, Yor, and Rec. Sharks in dark blue, Whitecaps in light blue. Game 1 underway.
And we start off strong here with the Sharks already Nuss going for a backboard play. Miro getting a nice easy clear off there. Now Rec's going to look to make something happen for the offensive for the Whitecaps, but John Waite is going to send it back over to their corner. Yor's going to try to take control. This gets a sort of a mistouch, but then gets a booming 50 downfield where John Waite is going to have to make the save to the corner. Miro popping it over one, only to Nuss, who sends it right down back to the middle where Yor will send it to the backboard of the Sharks. Virus looking to take control of this one. Yor kind of getting in his way. And now Rec trying to do something with zero boost. Miro taking a shot, but it's an easy save for John Waite right there. So yeah, a lot of back and forth early pressure from both these teams. And I don't know. It honestly could go either way here. Looking at it.
So far, so good for both teams. I think they've come out strong on both ends. John Waite showing that he seems to already have chemistry with Virus so far, and Nuss still getting used to playing once again, because don't forget, he didn't play for the first 5 games this season. He signed himself after releasing Arrow and Ghost. That's a big miss there. I do believe that was John Waite that completely missed that. Virus, though, getting the back wall touch there, and Rec not really knowing what to do because he was on the demo attempts, and Nuss gets the first goal.
Yeah, and that miss by John Waite probably threw off the Whitecaps quite a bit, as it looked to be an open net, and I believe, I don't recall seeing it, but someone pre-flipped on that, which caused them to be out of position for the follow-up shot.
Yes, exactly. And for Rots in the chat, where'd Tater go? Yes, he did get dropped for being, not inconsistent, but not being available schedule-wise.
And anyway, as we get back into it, the Whitecaps looking to make a comeback here after a little misplay on defense. And Yor will be the one to start it off, getting a nice flick over Virus. Unfortunately, none of his teammates sort of followed up, so he sends it to his own wall. Now Virus just sitting on his own backboard, waiting for John Waite to do something, and now Nuss sending it over for a pass to try to clear it out. Yor's going to continue the pressure for the Whitecaps, maybe looking for a pass. It was a bit of a weak one, but Miro manages to make do. Rec with a shot off the post. Unfortunate miss, but it was great pressure from behind by the Sharks to force a missed shot.
Yeah, that was a very nice shot indeed, but I do like both ends right now. Both ends are playing quite equally, in my opinion. It's just a matter of capitalizing on errors when they do happen, and so far, not that many errors have happened, and only one capitalization.
Yeah, and that's something that's it's a really positive sign to see, is both teams on the first match of a stream game not having many mistakes. Because usually there's going to be one team who starts off pretty poorly, making a few mistakes here and there, but it's been pretty consistent for both sides already.
Yeah, both sides just seem to be equal footing right now, and not too many errors, as Myro is back there to make the save off of John Waite's nice shot, and Myro is going to get it cleared.
Yeah, and now Rec is going to take it down to the Sharks side, where it will be a double commit save, but luckily the ball's put in a good spot where it didn't really matter. Now Yor is trying to put something towards the net, but the Sharks defense is pretty strong right now. The Whitecaps are not able to penetrate, which, as I say that, Rec almost getting the double touch, but it's a good read off of their own crossbar. I believe it was Virus. Now Nuss trying to get a pass mid, maybe not the pinch he exactly wanted, but it will go out to John Waite, who sent it to the backboard. Virus there to follow it up. Unfortunate miss shot, but Nuss is there for a follow-up, and Nuss has to score those, but luckily John Waite is there to put it in.
There was a lot of scatter there from the Sharks, but where were the Whitecaps here? The Whitecaps were nowhere to make these interceptions, nowhere to make the saves, and all 3 Sharks were just there surrounding the ball and absolutely hounding it, trying to get it home.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, Sharks are lucky that the Whitecaps weren't able to make time and get back there, because they took a lot of time to score that goal when they could have scored it on maybe the first or second shot.
Now, of course, on paper, right? The Sharks aren't a bad team. You see John Waite, one of the top 3 draft picks in this season's draft. You have Virus, who's been an FA for several seasons now because of reasons that are very unclear. But now that he's started playing, he's shown his worth. And a lot of teams have actually resented not signing him in the past and saying as much to me. And Nuss, well, his skill speaks for itself, but you're up against players like Rek and Yor, 2 very highly talented players, and Myro makes a case for himself here with 25 seconds to go that he's also one to look out for.
And it's a great pass over from Rek, and an even better shot with very nice placement to put it behind Virus, so he has to try to make a turnaround save, which he cannot do.
Yeah, no, that's a very, very nice shot there in Virus. I don't think there's anything you can do there if you're in his position.
Yeah, definitely not. And now Rek gonna take control of this one on his own half, making a solo play happen here, getting an air dribble over 2, trying to get the double touch. Unfortunately, he cannot get it, but Miro is there for the putback, and there is a tie game already. Quick comeback from the Whitecaps.
Yeah, they really waited until the last second here. Less than 30 seconds to go. You're down by 2 goals, and suddenly 13 seconds to go, and you've just tied up the game. We're possibly looking at an overtime here. There's still time for another goal to be scored, but 2 goals in the span of 12 seconds is quite impressive, especially in the major league.
100%, and that could be the shift of momentum the Whitecaps need to give them that little boost in this overtime that we are seeing in Game 1.
Yes, exactly. And this game is all about momentum, right? Who has the confidence leading up with the ball? And if you don't have the confidence, you're going to miss the ball more often than not, or not get it the way you want to get it. And because of that, the Whitecaps right now, with all the momentum, are the ones being on the offense here, and the Sharks have it all to do on defense.
Yeah, and like you were saying, the momentum and coming into this, the Whitecaps clearly have a higher pressure right now, which the Sharks are constantly playing defense with low boost right now. And John Waite getting the clear out to his corner. Nuss gets a very nice clear to break some of the ice, that the pressure they were under. Now Miro able to catch this one, tries to get over Virus, who ends up bumping Miro to slow him down on the play. Now Rek getting a pass to Yor, which gets 50'd by John Waite. Now Rek not getting the pop-up he really wanted there, but luckily Nuss couldn't make do with it. Now John Waite sending it back to the corner. Virus looking for a pass mid. It's an easy clear for Yor, but Virus is back to put a middle. Now Miro getting a banging clear over to his teammate Rek. Maybe trying to get a double touch off the wall. It's a hard read with low boost, so it will fall back down to Yor. But John Waite getting it past 1. Now Virus gonna look for a double touch attempt here. Gets the shot, and that will be the end of overtime.
Virus doing it all alone once again. Very well played by him. And who was that touched up there? I think that was John Waite that intercepted that pass and got it to Virus in the first place. Virus with a beautiful double tap there. And once again, not in the position to make the save. Nothing you can do if you're in the Whitecap shoes.
Yeah, and that's a really hard save to read, even for Rek, as Virus took it across the goal and then once again put it on the opposite side of the goal for the actual shot. So Rek really in a bad spot to do anything there, as he was also on low boost. So that's a very good play by Virus to recognize that.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, this was a whole team game here. You don't have this game without the teamwork from all 6 players on this field. Whitecaps made it close at the end, but game number 1 goes the way of the Sharks. The Whitecaps are going to go towards their white secondary color here, and so the colors are less confusing. Game number 2 will be underway.
And on game number 2, we will have John Waite versus Yor on the kickoff, and Yor ends up winning that kickoff to Rek, which may set up a play here. Yor maybe a calculated whiff as Rek able to get a pass middle, or sorry, that was Miro. And Yor with a follow-up shot cannot make do with anything, and now Miro is last back alone, gets a nice clear over to Rek, who will bang it downfield, and Yor trying to get a touchdown. It's a good pass, but a great read by Nuss, who ended up touching that mid-air after pre-jumping the initial bang from Rek. Now Rek looking to take control of this one. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there between Yor and Rek, as they both kind of left the ball after Rex first touch, and John Waite capitalizing on the mistake.
Yes, and once again, Virus and John just showing their chemistry together already, and that's a great pass. And I've noticed this from the Whitecaps. They're not stopping those back wall shots and passes being made by the Sharks, and that's something they need to work on, because you know how crucial it is, even as a lower champ, how crucial the back wall is. And the fact that they're not stopping those back wall passes has led to, I think, 3 of the 4 goals so far by the Sharks. So that needs to be fixed ASAP if they want a chance in this series.
And I believe that's one thing the Whitecaps struggled with as a whole the beginning of this whole season is on their defensive side of things. Their offense usually seems fine in most games. It's just they end up conceding more than the other team, obviously, when they take losses. But they usually can score at least 2 a game, as that's I believe their average is 2.1 or something close to that. So I think they just if this team can step up their defense, they'll definitely be a force to reckon with later on in the season. But currently in their current state, even the Sharks team, who are 1-6 right now, are putting on a lot of pressure.
Yeah, exactly. They're exploiting the very suspect defense here so far, and they really don't seem comfortable on defense, not as much as the Sharks anyway. The Sharks last season were the ultimate defensive team, and they still have that mentality, I feel, as a defensive team. It's just that they can't put it in the net like they could before, especially when you have a player like Slice on that team. But now with some decent teamwork on there, maybe we're going to see a lot more from this Sharks team. And I don't know if it's too late for them to make playoffs. 1-6, it seems a little too late, right? But
I mean, definitely not, because I believe in their division. The Bulls are 4-3, and I think it is the Panthers who are leading that division right now.
It is. And they're not last in their division either. York ties up the game here with a beautiful pass by Rek, analyzing that back wall perfectly in the center, and Nuss can't do anything but pray that it hits him. The Sharks are 3rd in their division despite being 1-6, but the other division, 3rd and 4th place, the Hawks, and I do believe it is the Cobras, are 3-4. Yeah. So they need to get higher than those 2 teams, as well as last place in their division, to make to playoffs, right? And that's easier said than done.
For sure, especially coming off the season with such a rough start. But it's definitely doable if they keep with the mentality and they start winning. But as we get back into the game, the pressure is definitely on the Whitecaps right now, with the Sharks with a lot of offensive power right now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they just can't seem to clear it.
No, they really don't seem very comfortable on defense, but the Sharks still a little bit suspect on offense. Anyway, before we continue, thank you very much, Captain Clutch, for the subscription. It helps out a bunch.
And Virus almost with a mistouch there. If one of the Whitecaps players was a little bit closer, that could have been the goal. And once again, another sketchy play on the Shark side of the defense. Almost an own goal there from Nuss, but it hits off his own backboard. Now, the Whitecaps trying to create some offense of their own, but it cannot seem to go through the Sharks' hard shell of a defense. And once again, another save from John Waite after a shot from Yor. And this is just, honestly, I'm very impressed with the Sharks' defense so far.
Well, here's the thing, right, is that their offense is their biggest problem this season, right? They can keep it very well tied down when it's in their zone, but the problem is that they can't really do anything once it's out of the zone normally. And that's what's caused all these losses for them. Meanwhile, the opposite for the Whitecaps here, right? As you said, that they're a more offensively minded team, but it's their defense that lets them down. And so it's a team of 2 weaknesses and 2 strong suits going up against each other. So it's like a brick wall, and the immovable object and the the unmovable force.
Yeah, because looking at the stats currently in the game, we have 10 shots from the Whitecaps and 8 saves from the Sharks, and on the opposite end there is 0 saves for the Whitecaps, but 1 shot for the Sharks.
one shot is all you need when the defense is this suspect, honestly. But yeah, that, they're using quality over quantity over on the Whitecaps, but right now they can't get out of the zone, and when they do, they can't do much with it, as shown this game. Meanwhile, the Whitecaps just can't do anything once they are in the Sharks zone. They keep getting stopped everywhere until the ball gets cleared, at which point the cycle just starts up again, because the Sharks can't just shoot the ball on net.
And hopefully we're going to see a change in momentum for one of these teams, maybe stepping up in the game that they're lacking. And as I say that, Nuss with a shot, but Rec with an amazing save to put it off into his own corner. I thought that was going to be the end of our game too, but no, Rec really not wanting to take this to a possible sweep for the Sharks. And now Miro trying to create some offensive pressure. It's an interesting pinch back to his own side, and Nuss will be on the backboard to clear this out. Rec putting the ball middle off his backboard. John Waite with a nice read, getting it out to his own corner, where Virus will take the ball now. Only as far as to Miro, who will try to control this one, get it mid for his teammate, but Nuss is sending it back out. Nuss trying to get it downfield, but Rec is able to stop it there. Maybe trying to get a middle, he takes a shot. John Waite is able to get that clear pretty easily, but Yor sending it back down to the corner right away. Now Miro trying to clear this over to the Shark side. Is a great pass, or sorry, it was Rec to Miro, and Miro finishes out game 2 with a nice shot off of the pass from Rec.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming along, and that's game number 2 in the books here. We're tied at 1 this series after another overtime, 2 overtimes in a row here. Both teams very tight, very close together in terms of skill, but in this game, you could say that the Whitecaps dominated, but at the same time, you can make the same argument for the Sharks. They absolutely dominated on defense, and the Whitecaps just couldn't do that much against that defense, and they finally just broke through after just trying their best, quantity over quality on their end. Meanwhile, the Sharks only getting 1 shot in regulation, 1 shot in the overtime there, and 2 shots on net in a game normally won't lead to a win.
Yeah, and a whopping 10 saves for the Sharks, and even more surprising, 14 shots by the Whitecaps. Honestly, if the Whitecaps just step up their defense for those little opportunities that they do end up giving to the Sharks, they can walk away with this. But so far, we're just not seeing that, except for that little glimpse from Rec.
Yeah, exactly. We see a lot of panic on the defensive side for the Whitecaps, and we see a lot of panic on the offensive side for the Sharks, right? You see it happen so often in these 2 games so far, where the Sharks will have the ball in the offensive zone and not know what to do with it, right? They'll start panicking all over the place. They'll jump one end to the other. They'll try and get the ball into the net without really communicating as good as they can. Now, things have been happening here. People have
It looks like we're gonna have the AI playing as
before
for some reason, and we're gonna restart the lobby here. But Quantum, who would you say so far is your player of the series coming into this game 3?
I don't really have a player of the series, honestly. So far, all 6 players have played to the best of their abilities, to the point where I can't say that one person has stood out more than the other. Honestly, Myro with 3 goals in the 2 games so far. Yes, it's the most out of all the players, but I don't think that deservedly.
They were kind of fed to him by Rec.
Yeah, exactly. Rec playing extremely well on both ends of the ball. He's not the one scoring, though. He's the one making the passes and the saves, and he's been doing it very, very well. So, I don't know. If I had to give it to someone so far, helping the Whitecaps stay in the series is Rec. But honestly, it's a team effort on both ends, because without Myro or you don't have the Whitecaps winning game 1 or game 2. So, It's not just the Rec show. This is why I don't give my MVP out right away, because I just can't see a player punching above their weight class compared to everyone else, you know? This has been a complete team game so far on both ends.
If I were to give it to anybody right now, I would have to say John Waite. I feel like he's been the player I've been seeing the most on the ball and off the ball. And as I say that, it's a little bit of a mistouch there, but maybe Virus able to clean up. Nuss looking for it, but Rec with a good save as he is stepping up this defensive game for the Whitecaps. And now Virus faking out Yor right there with a great dribble, but the flick goes nowhere. And Miro with a fake of his own and trying to look for pressure, but the ball gets behind him, unfortunately. So he cannot do much with the ball, and Yor not with the greatest save, but Virus cannot get the angle to find the shot. And now the ball is middle, and John Waite is going to find the back of the net with a nice pass from Nuss.
This is a beautiful team play once again, but as you see, the Sharks once again are just struggling on the offense. They missed a few plays here and there, and it seems like they panic way too much when it comes to the offense. Their shot selection, right, when you hit the ball on defense, for them, they hit it exactly where they want to hit it. But when it comes to the offense, they're missing the ball slightly wide more often than not, and that's not what you want to see.
Yeah, and that it's really costly, especially in a game where your offense could be the game changer when your defense is this good. So they really have to start being more clinical on the offensive side, and that could lead to the Sharks taking that W here.
Yes, exactly. I'd say the team that's going to win this game is a team that's going to relieve its demons, right? The team that either the Sharks play a better offense or the Whitecaps play better defense. Within these two, the one that plays better on their bad side of the field is going to be the one who wins the series.
Iris with a amazing flick, and Nuss rushing the ball a little bit there as he misreads what would have been a pretty open shot. And now Rec clearing it to his own wall, where Virus will attempt taking a shot, but it's an easy clear down the field for Miro. You're looking for a drop down to Rec. Rec taking a shot, but it's a great pre-jump save by Nuss. And now it's a demo coming onto Rec from Virus, which will reset Rec on his own side, making his rotation a little bit easier. But Yor and Miro making a double commit right there. Could have been costly if the Sharks were able to boom it downfield. Now Miro trying to pop it up. Rec trying to make something happen, but it's a good save by Virus, and Yor with an amazingly placed shot with the power. I believe it was John Waite in net who could not do anything.
Virus with the interception there, but that's a little bit of miscommunication, because I don't know where Nuss is on this play. Nuss should be challenging the ball after Virus hits that. I don't know where he is on this play, and that's why Yor gets a goal here in what seems like a wide open net, because there should be a challenge there, but John can't go for it because he's the last man back. He's the one in net. So what happened there? What's the miscommunication that happened?
It's a good point, because I honestly did not see Nuss either, which was the deciding factor in that goal. You're right, as there was no challenger on your shot. And now,
because of that, we have a tie game halfway through it.
Yeah, once again, we're in this situation with 1-1 going halfway through the game, which was the same outcome as last game. So I'm excited to see here if we can maybe see a quick relief of this tie game, or if there's going to be another 1-1 all the way to overtime.
Well, it's been really close so far, and some really close chances as well, and that's not stopping anyone so far from keep on trying to keep this game or give their team the advantage. Virus with a shot, Rec with a save. Nuss trying to keep it in the offensive zone here, and he does. Wow, that's a great shot by him. Even though he was bumped and really out of position, he pre-flipped just perfectly into that one.
Yeah, and I feel like the Sharks is the first of the two teams to step up what they're lacking. And what a save from John Waite right there, dropping down off of his own crossbar to what was almost looking like a clear goal up until he came out of nowhere.
John Waite with a save. Sadly, I don't have a replay on that one, but that coming down from the wall right on top of the shot and stopping it from ever even touching the goal line there. What a save right across the goal there. Incredible sense defensively there, and with 1 minute left to spare, this game looks more and more like it can go either way. But there is a disconnect.
Yeah, and as I was saying before, that fantastic save from John Waite
Myro has
is
disconnected.
on unlucky. I guess we're gonna have to continue in a 3v2, and hopefully the Whitecaps can stand out. And as I say that, you're with a little bit of an overcommit, and that will lead to the goal. Unfortunate for Miro disconnecting right there, which honestly made the difference right there because they had no one last back. But anyway, before that all happened, I was saying it looks like the Sharks team is really stepping up their offense as a whole, but it looks like Miro's back, and honestly, hopefully, the Whitecaps are able to get one back, as that was kind of just unlucky.
His ping was in the hundreds there for a few seconds, and that's all it took for the Sharks to take advantage. The rotations were ruined for the Whitecaps there in the midfield, and that just allowed the Sharks to walk in, and they might just take a victory off of a disconnect, which obviously you don't want to have happen, right? It feels like a cheap win, but at the end of the day, a win is a win.
As we say that, Rec struggles to reach the ball to keep it up, and that will conclude Game 2. We will be heading into Game 4 with the Sharks leading the series 2-1, like the result of this game.
Yes, and another 1-goal game. This could have easily gone to overtime for the 3rd time this series, but yeah, Myro sadly having the disconnect there. His ping went 10 times what it currently is. Might have been his internet just absolutely taking a crash, and it really cost his team big time there in the last minute. That is very sad. You hate to see it, but it's a part of the game, right? Lag does tend to happen, and sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and it looks like the Whitecaps did step up their defense a little bit, getting a total of 9 saves. And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you can't really do much about lagging out in the middle of a game, which, honestly, this game probably should have gone to the 3rd overtime, but it just that's sometimes the way the cookie crumbles, and hopefully, the Whitecaps are able to bounce back from that unfortunate event and come back and make this game to a Game 5.
All right, well, first you got to go through game number 4, and the Whitecaps need to win it to get that game number 5, and game number 4 is underway.
We will be seeing what it looks like to be Rec and Virus on the kickoff. Rec winning this one, but only to John Waite, who tried to take control, and now Nuss sending it downfield, getting another dunk. I feel like Nuss is the king of dunks this whole game. I've seen him dunking every time he goes for the ball. And now he's clearing it downfield, only to Miro, who gets a pass Virus and Nuss, and John Waite is left alone in net, maybe trying to get a pass middle. Miro, runs out of boost and cannot get the pass. Now Ewer will try to make something happen. Rec puts on more pressure. Rec with a great pass back to Miro, but this Whitecaps team is all on the same side right now, which is not what you want to see, but Nuss just cannot get the ball across to his teammate Virus, who's in the middle. Now you're clearing it back down to the Shark side. Now sending it back down straight to the middle. Nuss, the king of dunks, gets a dunk and scores to start the game off 1-0 for the Sharks.
Nuss has been doing this all game long. That's not a dunk. That is a pre-flip. And he absolutely pre-flipped into that one. He's been trying for those all series long. He got one, and I called it out for him earlier, saying that was a great pre-flip when he was out of position. And then he got absolutely gobsmacked into that ball, and he read it just perfectly and just put it in afterwards.
Yeah, and hopefully, and then now this Whitecaps team definitely under pressure, taking an early goal like that, and this is a must-win game for them, or else the series is dropped, and they're gonna need to turn up the heat a little bit. And now Nuss sending it down to the opposite side of the field. Miro once again banging it down to the Shark side. John Waite able to get a touchdown. Virus going a little bit too far past the ball, which will let Yor beat him to that, and it's a double commit by Nuss and John Waite. But luckily, there was no Whitecaps player to capitalize, and John Waite sending it down to the net. Miro barely getting able to get back to that ball. Now Virus with a whiff down the field, and Miro trying to pre-flip into that 50, but Rec is popping it up on his own, looking for a pass to Miro. Miro sending it back down to the backboard. A Whitecaps player looking to make something happen, and it's a miscommunication right there between Rec and Yor as they both hesitated for the ball. And you can tell the Whitecaps are panicking a little bit right now, as it looks like some frantic booming the ball and double committing is happening a lot right now for them. Virus sending it back down to the field, maybe trying to get a read. Miro with a great clear out. Now Rec is 15 John Waite here, but he misses the 50, and John Waite sending it down to the side. Yor with a great boomer clear, and Nuss is trying to get it back to himself where he sends it across the field. John Waite not reading that bounce correctly, and Rec will clear this one downfield now. Virus looking to get the double touch. Unfortunately, he cannot read that, and it is sailing towards the net, but John Waite gets a nice clear. Nuss trying to get it past another one, but this Whitecaps team is not letting them out of their half, constantly sending the ball right back down to their corner after they cleared out. And Miro unfortunately cannot get the bump, but John Waite almost own goaling. That would have been pretty dreadful if that was the way they were to tie up this game.
Yeah, and imagine tying up a game that's this close off of a misplay, and stuff like this does happen, right? Misplays like this happen all the time. We call them beans, of course, but they do happen, and even, especially in tense moments, in the heat of the moment, sometimes it'll happen, and it feels horrible when it does. As that is a beautiful shot from Fires. We did not expect one there, and that's a great clear out off of the back wall. That's off of the crossbar there. You were talking about how the Whitecaps keep the Sharks in their own zone, and that's their strong point, right? Their midfield play is very strong, and they're able to keep the pressure on on the defending team. Oh my goodness, that's a great passing play. Rec almost getting back in front of that shot and sealing it, but Yor is gonna find the rebound after a pass from Rec. Tomorrow stopped by John Waite. Wide open net. Nuss can't do anything about that.
Yeah, and luckily that double commit by Yor and Miro was able to go in the net, because that would have been very dangerous as they were both low on boost. So if that was not able to go in, then Rec would have been left in a 2v1 situation by himself. And now Virus with a great 50, but Rec is able to follow up. Now Rec looking for a solo play, gets it over one. John Waite with a great pinch off his own crossbar, and luckily Virus was there to get a nice touch out. Now Yor 15 Nuss on their own corner wall, and it's a bit of a scrap right now as the teams are bumping each other around quite a bit. And Virus is going to clear this one out. Miro sending it to his own corner where Yor is waiting. Yor getting bumped out of the play. Nuss trying to get a middle maybe for a teammate, but both of his teammates weren't there. And unfortunate backflip right there from Yor got in the way of Rec, who was trying to get the ball out of his own half. And the Sharks right now really keeping up with this half field pressure. And John Waite looking for a shot. It's a great save by Miro to keep them in the game here. The next goal is definitely going to probably be the one who takes it here, or we might be going to a possible last overtime if the Sharks can capitalize. But we still have 12 seconds left, and you know this is Rocket League. Anything can happen. And Miro trying to get it back down the field. He cannot, but it's a nice double touch by him to throw off Virus. John Waite trying to send it up for his teammate. In unfortunate bang by Rec where Yor cannot reach it, and we have a game for overtime. This is life or death for the Whitecaps.
Yes, and so far 3 overtimes this series. We almost had a 4th one in game number 3, and all the last 3 games, games 2, 3, and 4, the game has been tied 1-1 with 1 minute remaining on the clock. And so these last few games have been really tight, and I don't expect the Whitecaps to lose outright, but the Sharks have a very good chance of sealing the series right now and going 2 for 6 on their season.
Virus looking to make that happen by himself, but it's a good defensive play there by Yor, and now Rec banging it down the field to relieve this pressure from the Sharks. Miro taking a shot, but it's an easy save for Virus. Now it's a great pass from Yor to Rec, all the way to Miro, but it's an even better save by John Waite, but Rec is up before Nuss, and that will conclude our game 4, and we will be headed to game 5 in our first matchup of the night.
That is a beautiful save on Miro there, and then it just falls right in front of the hood of Rec, and that's exactly what you don't want if you're a Sharks defender. And Virus did everything he could to try and stop it. He just could not, and that's how this game number 4 ends. Game 1 goes to the Sharks, game 2 goes to the Whitecaps, game 3 goes to the Sharks, Game 4 goes to the Whitecaps. We go to a Game 5 for a do-or-die last game.
And you're really gonna wonder if, you know, that disconnect from Miro really made the difference, because who knows, maybe they could have won that game and then this would have been the last game of the series. But unfortunately for the Whitecaps, that disconnect might have cost them the series here, quite possibly.
It might have, but they're still in it, and they have 5 minutes to win, or at least tie the game and go to overtime to possibly win the series. Listen, they're not out until they're out, right? We've seen many teams pull back in reverse sweeps so far, and this season alone we've seen a few. But yeah, this isn't even a reverse sweep situation. This is just you lost game number 3 and now you're down 2-1, and you got to win 2 games in a row. And maybe you wouldn't have lost game number 3 if there wasn't a disconnect, but you're off to a good start in game number 5 as York takes the first lead for the Whitecaps, I do believe, this entire series.
Yeah, and Nuss right there, a little bit overcommitted as third man, as the ball was only at midfield and he was about at where the halfway point between his goal and the half is. And yeah, just caught out right there. And yeah, honestly, this has been a very back and forth series this whole time, as we've had 3 overtimes, right? Or has it been 4?
Three overtimes, so it feels like there's been 4.
Yeah.
But it also feels like the Sharks, I do believe, scored the first goal all 4 games. And so this is the first time that the Whitecaps have an outright lead. And that's quite important, because now the Sharks are the ones who need to respond. And that's not something that they've been doing very well this series. They haven't needed to respond. And so right now, what they need to do is catch up here. They're down 1-0. They have 4 minutes to bring it back and to not lose this series.
Tell the Whitecaps are not backing down. They are still keeping up that constant pressure they always have. They are not going to let the Sharks team have a chance. And as I say that, Rec with a great pass to York, who will make this game 2-0 with 2 shots and 2 goals for him.
We haven't seen a 2-goal lead since the Sharks took a 2-goal lead in game number 1. So right now, I think the Whitecaps are just taking it in stride right now. They have that first goal. They have that momentum now. I think they had that momentum in game number 3 as well. And that poor disconnect really gave them a little bit of motivation to win game number 4 and to prove that they won't lose a series just because of one disconnect there. Rec with his first goal this series, I do believe. And now they're up by 3 goals. A minute and 30 seconds have been passed so far this game. And that's the first 3-goal lead. We have not seen the Sharks score more than 2 goals in regulation so far. So this is very, very important for them to get their act together right now, because if the Whitecaps score another goal, it might be GG, even with 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, and maybe that momentum was all the Whitecaps needed, the first early goal, to just give them that little boost. And as I say that, Miro's sending it down the field, and he gets the 4th, and what could be the final goal needed for the Whitecaps. Game 5 W, and unfortunately John Waite cannot get back to the ball in time.
What a clanger of a clear there by Miro, and it was right on net as well. What can you do there as last man back? You're rushing back. You see that ball going at least 150 kilometers an hour. What can you do? There's nothing you can do. You try your best, and it just goes into the crossbar, and luckily you're down by 4 now, and you're the Sharks. What do you do now? The other team has full momentum. You can barely get anything going outside of your own zone. The Sharks just seem to have crumbled down so far this game. Halfway through it, they're down by 4.
Yeah, and honestly, as the Sharks right now, you really just have to start constant pressuring. A little bit of panic and a little bit of urge to have some offense is gonna set in, which will lead to a few more triple commits and a few more overcommits by the third man than usual. So we might be starting to see some of that, as they really have to start scoring now if they want a chance to get back in this game. as this Whitecaps team totally stomped on them in the first half of this game, and I believe this is where the Sharks have been struggling the most, as they start to crumble in this game 5 in most of their series that have been played. And that's one thing you gotta work out of your system, is those game 5 crumble moments.
Oh yes, and right now I think that the pressure really got to them this game so far, and the Whitecaps were just able to finally exercise those demons on defense. As you see, they do have 3 saves on 3 shots so far, and their quality of shooting has gone way up so far. That's a great save. Can they stop that one? No, they can't. That is so close to being stopped. Hugged off to the post. Nuss clearing it up in the air. Virus so close to getting this one. Barely, but barely not. And now Wreck flashes everyone once again. No mercy on the end of the Whitecaps. 5-0, a minute 26 left to go.
I have to say, I think that would be the nail in the coffin that this Whitecaps team needed. And I feel like this is what we can say gonna be the game 5 victory for the Whitecaps. While anything is possible in Rocket League, this I just feel like is not possible, as we have seen a lack of offense this whole series from the Sharks. So I feel like this is safe to say it is over.
I can't disagree with you here. 5 goals in 50 seconds is completely improbable. Not something that we've seen in NRLA, in RLPC in a very long time, right? It's not something that you see very often whatsoever in Rocket League to begin with. So it's very hard to convince yourself that it's going to happen. 1 goal does come in, as verbal abuse gives us 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much to our current streamer.
And that's a great shot by Nuss with great placement, hitting it off the bar down. And that is a nice goal to go off on. Maybe a little bit of an upbeat, but it's just, I just don't think it's going to be enough. And unfortunately for the Sharks team, they will be retaining their 1 win, and this will be, I believe, their 7th loss.
Yes, exactly. And although they came extremely close to winning this series at times, game number 2 and game number 4, they were very close to winning those. They brought it to overtime. They just could not close it. In game number 5, it's the Whitecaps who finally learned how to close out a game, how to score more than 2 goals against the Sharks defense. And finally, we get a good rest here as the Whitecaps demolish the Sharks' defense in game number 5 and take the series 3-2.
And yeah, and that's the Whitecaps team that I was saying could sweep the Sharks team. And it took them 5 games to reach that point, but 5 games